we had personal pronouns, yusmat and asmat, aham and twam, meaning aham, I, and yusmat means you, twat, twam. Now, those are personal pronouns. They refer to someone present. I can say, I am in the room. You are in the room. Maybe that's a way to think about it. Personal pronouns is for someone in the same room. A demonstrative pronoun is someone from another room, or like you're pointing to a room, or they're in the room, but they're not like an animate object. They're not a conscious person in the room. So this, that, these, those. Our personal pronouns were not coded by gender. Aham or twam does not matter on the gender. Those are the same. Personal pronoun, or these demonstrative pronouns, however, take gender. So when I say it, that's the masculine it, the neuter it, the feminine it. And I know that that it stands for a noun that is either in the sentence or that is in the idea, but is not in the sentence. So when I say that boy kicks a ball, I could also say that kicks a ball. Or a boy kicks this ball. I could also say a boy kicks this. This is a demonstrative pronoun. So if someone makes a joke and says, what is this? They could say, oh, my corny dad grammar joke. What is this? This is a demonstrative pronoun. That is a demonstrative pronoun. Whereas my friend Ryan always used to say, what is a rhetorical question anyway? So these can be this, that, those, but idiomatically, not really idiomatically, in Sanskrit, they can also be an article. Articles in English are a or the. So these demonstrative pronouns can also be translated as a or the. You kind of get the vibe of it by context, whether it's an article or a specific pronoun, because Sanskrit just plain doesn't have articles. So we have to provide them when we're translating into English. Sometimes you can get a frozen form of the ablative or the instrumental like tena or tasmat, and those will mean something like therefore or for this reason, in this case. Okay. In the grammar, as you listen to them being chanted by our lovely lady who chants so well, they're called sarvanaman, which means all sarvanaman names. Sarvanaman mean all names. So it can refer to anything as associated and coded with gender. So we come to these, and we had these examples before. Can Sarah read this one for me and translate it? We did it before. See if you remember it, but I'll help you if you don't remember any words.
Tam balakam pashati sa nripaha.
Where's my book?
Pashati.
Yeah.
And sa and tam are both pronouns.
You got it.
Sa nripaha. So pashati sees.
Yeah.
So that
it sees singular.
Singular, and nripaha is singular. He, it. So
the king, the protector of men.
Protector of men. I like that. That king sees that. I forget what balakam is.
Boy.
That boy.
Balakam. Those are in what number of nouns?
Instrumental.
Rama, Ramam, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Ramam. Ramam.
Oh, that's 2.
There you go.
Which is the accusative.
Yeah. Often the direct object of the sentence. So you have sa nripa, this king or a king, and what does he do?
He sees that boy.
That boy, exactly. This king sees that boy. A king sees a boy. Either way works. You just have to figure out with context, whether it's an article in English or demonstrative pronoun. It's the same in Sanskrit. The important thing to notice is these are both in one and they are masculine. These are both in two and they are also masculine. All right. Next one. Jared, you're up. Read it. Give me your best guess. I'll help you.
The Tasmin.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see, Tasmin.
Bane.
Bane.
We say it together. Tasmin Bane.
Tasmin Bane.
Perfect.
Vasati.
Mm-hmm.
Saha.
Excellent. Saha. Now, in fact, this Saha, Sa, and Ripa is Saha Ripa, right? The Sandhi drops because it's voice. So here, nothing comes after it. It's at the end. So the Sandhi remains. Where's my verb?
Let's see. Vas.
Vasati is my verb.
Vasati, yeah, sorry.
Excellent. So Vasati is my verb. The root is vas. Do you remember what vas means?
He lives.
Yes, he lives. He dwells. Perfect. So vasati means he lives. So I'm going to be looking for a nominative. I already told you what the nominative is. It's saha, sa. So he lives. That's our little sentence. Now, where's our big sentence? What are we doing with these guys?
Let's see. Okay, so Tasmin Saha. So it's going to be the let's see. The Tasmin Vane.
It's two words.
All
right. First off, what's the number of Vane? Think through Rama. Rama, Ramam, Rama, Ramal, Rama, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramo, Raman, Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramaihi, Ramat, or no, Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramaha, Rama, what's that? Ramabhyaha. See, it gets me too. Then you got Ramat, Ramabhyam, Ramabhyaha. And finally, you get to Ramasya, Ramayoho, Ramanam, and then Rame. Rame.
So that's
Ramayoho.
Ramesu.
So this is
it the locative then?
The locative, the seventh. And tasmin is our demonstrative pronoun that is also in the seventh. So we have the king or somebody. He, we don't know who he is. It doesn't say. He lives Tasmin Vane.
In the forest?
He lives in the forest. Exactly. Perfect. So that, this, a, whatever, but it's in the seventh, as is forest is in the seventh, masculine, singular. So it's perfectly balanced. He lives in the forest. If we wanted to, we could put these together and we could say, Tasmin Vane, Vasati Sa Nripa. The king lives in the forest. Or you could even say, Sa Nripa Pashyate. He sees Tambalakam, the boy, Tasmin Vane, in the forest. To make it really long, Tasmin Vane, Tam Balakam, Pashyati Sa Nripaha. All balances out. It's a very pleasant Sanskrit sentence. Now, we're going to memorize our demonstrative pronouns. We have videos on doing that, but we're going to run through it for a minute right away here. Notice I have them in color, so you can see the grouping. This is masculine. So if you're chanting, we could say, Sarvanaman Punlinga. All names punlinga. Pun means male. That's actually the word punsa. Punsa. It's shortened to be pun. And then linga. What's a linga? Jared? I needed you here last time. What's a linga?
A phallus.
It's a phallus or a column of light, but it is also a sign. So, for instance, if I said it, there's a sign and a signifier. So it's a sign that it is male. So there's this other word, and in Tibetan, the word is linka, which also means a sign and not a phallic symbol or a column of light. So linga is the Shiva linga, which is Shiva's phallus, Shiva's unmanifest form or partially manifest form. But also a linga is a sign or characteristic. So the masculine characteristic, the punsa linga, sarvanaman pun linga. All names, pun linga. Here we go. Sahatau te, tam tau tan, tena tabyam tahi, tasmai tabyam tebyaha, tasmat tabyam tebyaha, tasya tayo tesham, tasmin tayo teshu. That's the way my pundit taught it, even though I learned it up and down. Sahatam tena tasme tasma tasya tasmin. But nowadays, when I read it left to right, it's much more pleasant to me. Sahatau te, tam tau tan, tena tabyam tahi, tasmai tabyam tebyaha, tasmat tabyam tebyaha, tasya tayo tesham, tasmin tayo teshu. So you're going to, for Tuesday, and you're going to see me bedraggled and red-eyed and jet-lagged, and I'm going to hear all of you write down, well, I'm not going to hear, I'm going to have all of you write down our paradigms and submit a video. Now, I watched all your videos this morning, and I noticed some of you are getting some really good little songs on there. My favorite, in fact, Sarah's, because she had a nice little chant on Kanya. I'm not going to put her on the spot, but I should right now have her be chanting Kanya. Oh, yeah, you should thank me. You should. I should. My pundit would say, oh, yeah, Sarah did really good. Let me hear it, Kanya. And we're going to get to that a little bit, where as we progress through the class, toward the end of the class, I mean, there's going to be times where I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to say, all right, do Rama, do Kanya, do Vanna, do Sa, or do Asmat, do Yusmat, do Saha, do the demonstrative pronoun, and you should be able to kind of spit them out. How good are you going to be at doing that random? Not terribly. You'll get better at it. My pundit would just yell them out in the middle of class. He'd be, all right, Mooney, everybody do short I masculine, go. But for now, I think you're going to find that the little chant tone that I do will naturally come to you. And I put up the video of our gal chanting it very nicely, so you can listen to her. But yeah, so sahatau te, tam tau tan, tena tabyam tahi, tasmai tabyam tebyaha, tasmat tabyaham tebyaha, tasya tayo tesham, tasmin tayo teshu. Notable second on chanting Kanya goes to Tessa and Jared, who hasn't done Kanya yet, but he sent me his personal pronouns, and they were some of my favorite, I heard. I really liked how he was able to really get in the alternate ones nicely. Okay, so thankfully here, you don't have too many weird alternates. And you just have to know them as they are. So one last time from Dr. Ulrich. Wow, voice just cracked nice on that one. Sahatau te, tam tau tan, tena tabyam tai, tasmai tabyam tebyaha, tasmat tabyam tebyaha, tasya tayo tesham, tasmin tayo teshu. Wow, wait a minute. There was like another song that came in there. Satau te, tam tau tan, tena tabyam te, tasmai tasman tebya, tasmat. I just want to make it a little funner right up in there. Tasmat tebya, tasmat tasyam tebya, tasya tasyo, tastesham, tasmin tayo teshu. Get it in your head. I don't care how. You can use my little chant. You can use your little chant. You can Old MacDonald had a farm all day long. You can do Taylor Swift. You can do Metallica. I don't give a rip. Just get it in your head. Now, if you do the old McDonald had a sa tau te. If you chant it around an Indian, they may laugh at you. But that's okay, because they'll also find it delightful. All right. So we're looking here at the Napunsakalinga, my favorite word. So sarva naman means all names. All names can be used and applied in this way, to this paradigm. Napunsakalinga. Now you remember I said male is punsa. Punsa. Now, to make it like, to really abstract it and say a male being, you would have napunsaka, or you would have punsaka. Punsaka means like a dude, literally a dude, something very male. It's duty, it's broy. Punsaka. Put a na in front of it, and that is a negative prefix. Now, we are going to learn that a very common negative prefix in the next chapter is a short If you put a short before the word, say, dharma, you get adharma, non-dharma. If you put a short in front of karma, meaning action, it would be inaction. If I put a short before the word yoga, meaning union, what would it mean? What would yoga mean? Anybody? Not union, disunion. Of course, for disunion, we do have V-yoga, but we're going to leave that alone. We're not going to worry about that right now. So, dharma, adharma. Now, a few of you, when you were doing on chapter 4, made me very, very happy with an error you, in fact, made. And that was, you saw gachati, he goes. And you saw agachati with a long A prefix. So that's long A prefix plus gum, agachati. You interpreted it as a short and it made me very happy, because that short that you interpreted as is the king did not come. That was wrong. That it was actually that you would be saying, if it was gachati, which you wouldn't have, but theoretically, gachati with a short that would be the king not going. That wouldn't be coming. But with the prefix a in front of it, because the prefix before the root, the dhatu, the Sanskrit root, changes the meaning. We're going to learn all about this. Why am I telling it to you now? Warming up to all these ideas. So we are in Napunsakalinga. Na, not, punsaka, male, linga. What is not male? It is neuter. My friend Autumn, God love her, years of Sanskrit. And like, she and I were both like the worst in the Sanskrit class. We were just busting our asses all the time. And right around year 4, suddenly Autumn and I were better than anyone in the class on like the last 6 months. It was striking, to the point that other people were like, what the hell just happened? And Autumn and I were just crushing things because we'd been working so hard. And by that point, everybody who could cruise couldn't cruise anymore, and they'd plateaued. And the big kids came to town, and those were the big kids who did a lot of crying in Sanskrit 1. Sadly, Autumn left the field, but if you are to read Mark Singleton's classic book, Yoga Body, you will find in a few footnotes and in the bibliography the master's thesis that Autumn Jacobson wrote. And that's just freaking awesome. I ran into her a little while back. She's still a very prominent Krishnamacharya line Ashtanga yogi practitioner and sometimes teacher, probably one of the best yoga practitioners I've ever really known very well. I mean, other than like Jason Birch and Jacqueline, but and Hargraves, I leave them aside. But of like my long friends, I believe she shifted away from the academy and was going to be a high school English teacher, the last thing I heard. And she's a fabulous person. I miss her to death. Okay. Autumn would always say neutered every time, all the way into 4th year. She's like, that's the neutered form. I'm like, you can't say neuter, can you? Neutered, neutered. I'm like, you're just fucking with me now. Nope, neutered. So in honor of Autumn, I will sing the neutered demonstrative pronoun. Tate tani, tena tabyam tai, tasmai tasyam tebya, tasman tabyam tebya, tasyatayo tesam, tasmin tayo ho teshu. See, I'm just making stuff up at this point. These are so short and fun that you can just bang at them. And these are some of the few that I learned them up and down, but as I was saying before, they're easier, I think, left and right. So it's so much easier to go tatetani than say tatatena. Tatatena tasma tasya tasmin te tabyam 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 te yoho ta yoho tani tani tai tebe tebe te sam te chu. I don't know. Those are kind of fast and fun too. But one of the neat things about this is you can chant them quickly, and these are the same, well, almost the same endings that you saw in, say, Rama and Vanam. So these paradigms build on each other. As you learn this one, it will also make your Rama better. Or as you learn the first one, this one will make your Rama better. This one will make your Vanam better. And this one will make your Kanya better. So here's the feminine. Sarva Naman. All names, all things that can be applied to. Strilinga. What is linga? What's linga mean?
Sign.
Sign. I mean, they can even, sometimes they'll even use linga as gender, sign. And what's your guess on street? Street. It just means female. In fact, so stri means feminine, female, woman. And that's actually another Indo-European root. In fact, there's a whole bunch of classes of sort of demonic female entities throughout Eastern Europe called the striges and the strigoi. So I haven't figured out the connection on that, but there's something there. Anyway, so witchy ladies take a street. Stree, lady, witchy lady, street. Sa te taha, tam te taha, taya tabyam tabihi, tasya tabyam tabyaha, tasya tabyam tabyaha, tasyaha tayo tasam, tasyam tayo ho tasu. All right, look here. These really map similarly onto the feminine. Probably should have had the feminine over here, or Kanya over here. But there are a few that I want you to pay close attention to. Tasyam. That one will trip you up. Why do you think I say that'll trip you up? I know it's a bad teacher question. What's in the box? Yeah. What do you think, Tessa?
Maybe because it's like the yayan, the locative ending of the.
Well, that's the thing that's going to save you. What's going to screw you up with all of these is you're going to want to think it's that. You'll confuse this tasya in the genitive, singular, masculine, with all of these tasyas. That'll trip you up. And then the tasyam and tasam are easy to confuse as well. Tasu, tabyaha, tabihi, all of these other ones, these are pretty basically the same as the other feminine ones and are usually learned by students without too much trouble. But these are the ones. These are the troublemakers here. So as you're learning these, and this is another thing where if you're learning this up and down, that's where you screw yourself because they're so close. And you get so focused on the tasya part of it that you kind of forget the endings. But if you're going back and forth, then you'll shift. See, you're like taya, tabyam, tabihi, tasyai, tabyam, tabyaha, tasyaha, tabyam, tabyaha. But if you're like taya, tasyai, tasyaha, tasyaha. I'm getting better at talking with this thing in my mouth. That's a plus. Okay. Yeah, I had to give a lecture yesterday, a big public lecture on Zoom, and I had my tooth in it. I was just really struggling, and I didn't articulate myself as well as I wanted because I was so concerned with getting my tongue in the right place. Luckily, we had a question and answer afterwards that went very, very well. Okay, so here are the big ones. So I wanted to make a slide that kind of showed you where stuff is just the same. So one, I wanted to note te. Look at how te comes up a lot. So that tells you that te is a demonstrative pronoun that you're going to meet very often. However, you've seen te before, right? Where have you seen te before?
In the Yusmat Shattaha.
100%. In the dative and the genitive. So this lets you know.
And one more, right?
Oh yeah, because there's what's the other one? There is one more. What is the other one?
I think it's accusative and then dative and then genitive.
Well, the accusative is toi.
Oh,
The
well, then
dative
never
is
mind. Yep.
the dative is te. The genitive is te. So in my head, those words don't even code into these paradigms. I see a te, and I'm already going, that's a pronoun of some sort. And then I look to see what it's referring to, and I just move right on. You'll get to that point later. But for now, just beware that te's are confusing. Tabyam, same all the way through. Tayo, same all the way through. When you really look at the patterns, you start seeing a lot the bia sounds, the sham sound, kind of like the nam sound. The sia, I guess, is the same there, and then you have the sia here. I do warn you that sia and sma can get kind of kooky in your head, but when in doubt, go over and just chant these. Look at this slide. I mean, it's all there, or make a version of this slide for yourself. And you've noticed that I put up the PowerPoints, and the way they're set up, it's not a PDF. You can actually just pull the slides right out, and you could copy these as images and pull them right out and put them into your own little files for whatever. Save yourself the time. I took the time to code them in. You can just take the coding and do whatever you want with it. All right, now we are to the fun part. We are reading, and I need more gummy bears. All right, take like 3 minutes. But only 3. I typed 3.
Jared, is that Dilgo Kensei behind you? In that picture?
It is.
Aw, I love him.
Got my back.
Yeah.
What service, Sarah?
I know, I'm so lucky.
I know. I was about to say, oh, is that your hubby behind you?
Yeah, that's my hubby.
Okay. Okay. I'm mad at Goldman. In these examples, and I think he's particularly bad in this chapter, there are a lot of words that are not in the glossary. Not a lot. There's like 5. So you can't actually look them up here. You have to look them up elsewhere. I try to pay attention to that every time I give you a reading assignment. I go through and I make sure every word that's in there is in the glossary. And they, for the most part, are. But here's one that is not in the glossary. That even I was like, I don't know that word. So I went and looked it up, and it's fine. And that one is samichina, which means, or samichina, which means good, proper, or true. And it's an adjective. All right. Tanya, you're up.
All right. Let's see here. Ta, tasa,
Mhm.
may, or my, sorry, my, jaina, jainama,
This is hard to say. So cut samichinum. Samichinum. Long eyes.
tut,
Samichinum.
tut, sami, chinam.
Good. Yes.
Bhavati. Bhavati.
Bhavati. Where's my verb?
Bhavati.
Right. From our Sanskrit root boo. We've got that. Now, I told you that samichnam is an adjective that means good, proper, or true. We know that we're supposed to be focusing on demonstrative pronouns. So, can you take any guess, assuming that what would that tut be from our paradigms we just looked at? Do you remember where tut is?
Tut is, oh shoot, I can't without let me
All right.
see if I have my printout with me.
I'll just provide it for you.
Okay, sorry.
It's neuter, and
Okay.
it's neuter singular first or second. So that means that, this. How would you put this together into English?
Okay, so this
Remember, bov means is or becomes or exists.
Okay.
Or it can just be is.
This is good. Like,
yeah, that's all good.
Okay.
So it's Goldman give that's okay. But yeah, tut that bhavati is samichinam good. That is good. That's okay. It's all good. So there's a fun little one to use. Okay, Tessa, you're up next. Good work there, Tanya.
Thank you.
Okay, let's see. That's not
Oh crap, that's Nripo.
okay.
Misspelled the word. Let me fix it real quick. Come on. There we go.
Are you going to tell us how to use a keyboard sometime with Sanskrit with Devanagari?
I wrote you a message about that.
Really? I didn't see. I'll have to check because I didn't think I got that answer, but that's probably okay. Back to the point here. So,
yeah, it's all got scurry on me.
okay.
All right, there we go.
All right, so that's
Nripo, you know that one. You're getting befuddled because of the misspelling. It's a king.
Sorry,
Yeah, you know
Nripo, Tasya.
Yeah.
That's Braha Manasya. Ramanasya.
There you go.
Putram. That's a Hunty.
Right.
Okay. Verb is Hunty.
Verb is hunty from hun.
Kills, right?
Yeah. He kills. Remember that that's singular though. You want it to be plural, but it's not. Due to the type of verb class it is. It's hun is the root that has t attached to it. It's not hun with an unti.
Okay.
So first thing you're going to look for is a singular nominative.
That would be singular nominative. Nripo.
Exactly. So our little sentence that we start with is the king kills. The king kills. Now we have our now we have to figure out our next one. So you see an accusative.
I see the yeah, there's an am in there where it is. Yes. So
Yeah.
Putram, the son.
Yes. So the king kills the son. All right. Now I got a complete sentence, but I still have some parts left over. So what do you see on these other two words? You can see that they both end in asya. And you can see that one's a demonstrative pronoun, so it probably connects to this one.
6 or 7.
Both 6. Yeah.
6. Okay, so of that Brahmin.
Yes, of that Brahmin. Put it in a sentence.
Okay. The king kills the son of that Brahmin.
Yeah, of a Brahma or this Brahman, or of a Brahmin, this Brahmin, that Brahmin. Sort of depends on the context. But yeah, we already know this. It's from our text. We know that the king killed the boy with his sharp arrows. So you could put Tikshnena Sharira right in there. Nripa Tasya Brahmanasya Tikshnena Sharina or Sharena, with the sharp arrows, instrumental, Putram Hunti. So you can start seeing how these kind of all go together. All right. Does anybody have any questions on these?
Just if you would put those the sharp arrow in there, would it need to be in that order that you just said?
No. In fact, Sanskrit has vague word order. Some word order is considered more elegant, but if you had Tikshnena Sharena Sharin, I confuse Sharin or Sharina with Sharira because it's a common word I see. So the instrumental could go anywhere. And in fact, the tasya could be way up here or back here. The putra could be right at the front. Generally, you see subject, object, verb, but not always. And when you start getting into like philosophical texts, the word order is really screwy and all over the place. But like anything with Sanskrit, it has a certain elegance that once you adapt yourself to it, you'll appreciate it. Okay.
I actually do have a question.
Yes.
I'm still confused, like still learning the different like nominative, accusative.
Mhm, of course.
So Ramaya, like the 4, that's genitive, no?
All right. 6 is a genitive.
6
So this is 6.
Okay.
Genitive is the of case. It's possession or description.
Okay, I think I just learned that. I like put it as 4. Okay, thank you.
That's exactly how it goes in your head. You get it all jumbled up until it goes straight, and they're like, oh, that's the way it always was. So to follow up on that, let's go real quick over it one more time. Nripo. This is nominative singular. Tasya, genitive, singular, demonstrative pronoun. Brahmanastya, genitive, singular, noun. Nouns and pronouns often go together. All right. So putram, accusative, which is the direct object case. Hunti, verb in the present indicative. The king, subject. Verbs, kills. Object, the putra, the son. Brahmanasya, tasya, of that Brahmin. However, listen carefully. I want somebody to translate this one for me, just from what I say. Nripo tasya putram hunti. So imagine the Brahmanasya isn't there.
King kills that boy.
The king kills the son of him. The king kills that man's son. The king kills his, not the king's son.
Where's that man's son part?
The man isn't there. It's just this tasya. So it stands in for Brahmanasya. The Brahmanasya could drop out. So the king kills the boy of him. Yeah. Okay. Ooh, this one's all screwy. All right, the notes are going to be up on that one. You'll be fine. All right, let's see. I had Tessa. Let's go. First one, Riley and Josh.
Okay. Tena Brahma no.
Yeah, it's Brahman again, like we had before.
Brahmano.
Yeah, perfect.
Manu. Viti or Bhavati.
Yeah, we've had a lot of these words before. All right. Do you want help or do you want to take a stab at it?
Take a stab at
We have
it.
like 2 minutes to take a stab.
You can,
stab.
as long as you're talking the whole time.
Shit.
Okay, well, Tana is the instrumental.
Yes.
Hear it,
He.
and then Bra,
No.
the Brahmin.
Mm-hmm.
Do this is suffering.
Yeah, suffering, miserableness.
So, and then that would be the verb, the last word, right?
Yeah, anu bhavati. So that's anu is the prefix and bhav is the verb. And we've seen this before. Anu bhav together means feels.
Feels. Oh, feels suffering. So the Brahmin feels suffering.
Yes. But what do you do with that Tana?
The Tana,
Remember, instrumental can be a cause. It can be a reason.
he
it can be an
feels
agent.
suffering by because the king killed the son.
Well, yeah, that's it. But it would
Suffering
be
by the action.
that's the exact that's you're getting the translation from the meaning. So here, the Brahmin feels sad because of that. So if you had a whole thing about the instrumental about killing the son. So if you had you could even have tasya putrena hate tena, because of the son being slain, the Brahmin feels sadness. But here you just have all those nouns are standing in or being stood in for by a pronoun. So due to that, because of that, yeah, I like because of that, the Brahmin feels pain. Like it?
I like it.
I love it.
All right. Devin's up.
Okay.
So
Ramo,
you have the 2 sentences, read right through them and start
Okay.
looking for verbs.
Ramo
Mm-hmm.
Nagaram
Mm-hmm.
Tyajati
Perfect.
Tasmajana
Mm-hmm.
Dukita
Yes.
Bhavati
Now, look at that ending real careful.
Bhavanti.
Bhavanti, exactly. All right, where are my verbs?
Bhavanti probably
Yep.
is one.
Mm-hmm. 100%.
Is there another?
Yep, there's another one.
Tyajati.
Excellent. That's exactly what it is. Tyajati means to leave or to abandon. Someone who has left life and becomes a monk is called a tyagi. Tyagi, one who has abandoned. All right, so you have 2 verbs. Now, look at that last one. Is that singular, plural, dual?
Auntie is plural.
Yes, it is. You're absolutely correct. Now, tyajati, is that single, dual, or plural?
Tyajati
Tyajati.
is singular. I don't know.
It is, exactly. So tyajati and bhavanti. So if this was plural, it would be tyajanti. And if this was singular, it would be bhavati. See how
Okay.
that works? So there
Yeah.
you got your verbs. You know, this is plural. So you're going to be looking for a subject that is in the plural. This
Okay.
is singular. So you're going to look for a subject that's singular. So now let's start in this first sentence and look for a subject that is in the singular, probably in the nominative. Ramo, 100%. And remember, if I take the Sunday away, what is that?
Ramaha.
Ramas.
Rama.
Yeah. So that's just ramas or ramaha, short All right,
Yeah.
good. So Rama leaves. Now, what's my next noun?
The noun is the Nagaram.
Yeah, Nagaram. And that is going to be in the first, the second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh class. What one?
Is it in the first? No, it's not.
Huh? Ramam.
It's in the second.
Yes, it is. All
The
right.
accusative.
So now you can make a sentence right there. So chajati is a verb of motion. And verbs of motion, as Atlas is infuriated by, take the accusative. So read that first sentence to me and translate it.
Well, what does Nagaram mean? What is the noun?
Oh, I'm sorry. It means city.
City. Okay, so Ramo leaves the city.
Yes, perfect. Ramo leaves the city. So that's our first idea. Now let's go to the second one. The first thing you need to do is you need to find a plural nominative, if possible. And I'm going to tell you it is. And Sunday is going to mess with you a little bit here. So if Bhavanti, pardon?
I'm just guessing that Tasmad.
Yeah, that's your subject's in there, but that's two words. Do you remember me saying when you see a double j to be suspicious?
Yes.
So what do you think tasmaj jana? What do you think tasma? What's that ja? What was it originally?
I don't know.
This is big Sunday review. Okay. So that's tasmat, which is the ablative. Okay.
Okay.
So tasmat, the ta becomes a ja when it encounters a ja. So you have tasmat. Let's just throw that aside because it's ablative. What is jana? I'll tell you right away. It means people.
Okay.
It's Indo-European, actually. Think about generation, progenitor. Gen means like people, persons. But look at the ending. And there's Sunday there again, because da is voiced, which means a visarga or a short s before it drops.
Yeah.
So what you're actually looking at there is janas or janaha.
Okay.
What do you think janaha is? Singular, masculine, plural?
Singular.
So let's think to Rama. Ramaha, Ramo, Ramaha, Ramam, Ramau, Raman. This is Janaha.
So it's plural.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's start looking for a sentence. And how I keep saying, you find your subject and your verb and you make a little sentence.
Yeah.
So make a little sentence out of Jana and Bhavanti.
Okay. Bhavanti means like become or is.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
So Bhavanti, they are.
Yes.
They become.
Yeah, the Jana, people become. All right. Now, we're into something interesting here. What do you think Dukita is?
Well, is it from Dukam?
It is.
So Dukam is suffering.
Yes. Now, in fact, what's going on here is you have Dukkha becomes Dukkita, which is an abstract form, which we haven't learned yet. But what I want you to see is that Jana and Dukkita are in the same case.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
So, Jana, Dukkita, the people become.
The people become suffering.
Yeah, the people become sad.
Sufferers. Sad.
They become sufferers. Yeah, actually, that sort of works with the grammar. But yeah, the people become sad.
Okay.
Now, we still have that tasmat, that ablative, just hanging around. What do you think? So tasmat is the ablative of the male or the masculine demonstrative pronoun. What do you want to do with that, tasmat?
Does it mean like from that, or like from
It
him?
100% means from that. Now, here we're learning some serious new Sanskrit grammar. These sentences are construed together. That's like a period. It's called a dunda, a little staff. Rama left the forest.
Okay.
From that, the people become sad.
Okay.
Okay, do the whole thing together.
In English?
Read it in Sanskrit and then tell it to me in English.
Okay. Ramo nagaram tyajati
Mm-hmm.
tasmajana dukiti
Ukita.
dukita bhavanti.
Mm-hmm.
So Ramo leaves the forest.
Yeah.
The people all become sad from his leaving, from him leaving.
Yeah. Or because of that.
Because
Now,
of
here's
that.
a little trick I want y'all to try. Try reading the Sanskrit out loud with like English inflections. So as I'm reading, see if you can pick up the meaning from the way I'm reading. Ramo nagaram tyajati. Tasmaj jana dukita bhavanti. So if you kind of practice reading it out loud in the meaning of it, it'll kind of help it stick in your head. Ramo nagaram tyajati, tasmaj jana dukita bhavanti. See how that kind of works? We'll do that more and more. I find that if I read it like that, read the Sanskrit with all the meanings in my head and with those inflections, it really helps it stick in my head. Okay. These are what are called abstract pronouns. I never thoroughly learned these. What they are is it's the same paradigm as when you had, when you had saha, when you have tat, when you have feminine sa, but they put a little e in front of it. So esha, esha, etau, ete, etam, etau, etau, etan. I don't want you to really practice these because I don't think it really helps that much. I want you to practice the actual demonstrative pronouns. But what I want you to see is that there are other versions of demonstrative pronouns. This does not have a big difference in meaning, except that it's more adjectival. And when we look at the examples, that'll make a little bit more sense when we look at them. But for now, just listen very carefully, you'll see that they're the same. So esa is sa. Esa ha etau ete, etam etau etan, etena etabiam etai, etasmai etabiam etebia, etasmat etabiam etebia, etasya etayo etesham etasmin etayoho eteshu. So you've already learned these patterns. What gets tricky on these is that A at the front is often sandhied with the word in front of it. So on these, what I always do when I encounter them is I go, oh, that's clearly got to be one of those pronomial endings. It's following the pronomial order. However, these get used as adjectives. And I'll show you what I mean in these examples. Now, I dug up sarva, and I got this off that webpage that I used because I thought it was pretty good. So sarva means all. These adjectives that take pronoun declensions are a little different than a normal way that you would conjugate these. They're declined exactly like the pronouns in this chapter, but they also take gender, just like the pronouns in this chapter. And they function to qualify a noun. So if I wanted to say, Rama kills all men, I would say Rama Sarvan Manushan or Janan Hanti. So these are attached to nouns to nuance it. So Anya means other. So if Rama kills the other men, I would say Ramo Anyan over here, Anyan, and then Janan Hanti. He kills all the men. Rama kills one man. Ramo Ekan. Well, actually, it would be Ekam Manusham or Jannam Hanti. So you notice that that's how it works. So if the boy was to be killed with a sharp arrow, we remember that the king used his sharp arrows. If he used all of his sharp arrows, it would be Sharvena, Tikshena, Sharena. So these are just giving a little bit more nuance. So you have, this means one or singular, para means other. The same way, if he kills the boy with a single other arrow, saha balakam parasharena hanti. He kills the boy with another arrow. So parena sharena. Purva means before or prior, and sarva means all. Don't worry too hard about this. What I just want you to kind of get a handle on is the way that these pronominal endings can be used and put onto adjectives. An adjective is a word that describes a noun. Okay. So these are some little slides I made up for Saraha and Paraha. And I just want you to note that these are pretty similar. Now, there are some alternate endings. Like here, like Sarve or Sarvaha. I usually see Sarve. Sarvat, I usually see Sarvat, not Sarvasmat. So this is just complicating things. And I feel that the best way to learn these is to see them in context. You don't need to memorize these per se. You need to be aware of them and remember that they line up with the demonstrative pronouns. Okay. Now, gender is always used on these. So what we're going to do now is we're going to take 5 minutes because I'm going to actually give you a break. And after that, we're going to come back and do some examples and probably read through two or three sentences from the reading. So take a break. Be back in 5.
Dr. Ulray, I think I just found the note as far as the keyboard, and you said you don't recommend technology to students.
Yeah, because I'm not very good at explaining it.
But I don't have a Mac, so with a PC you can't.
I don't know. I've
Okay.
never been able, I had PCs for years. I used a couple of different programs. I was never happy with any of them. I wonder, somebody in the room is going to figure it out on the PC and they'll help you. If you have a Mac, I can set it up. I can walk you through that, but I just can't.
Okay.
If you know somebody who's tech savvy, they'll be able to figure it out.
Okay, thank you.
Jesus, Devin, it's funny looking at you. It's funny looking at you look at the screen. People are so funny on Zoom. Interesting, interesting. Okay.
Professor Ulrich, I wanted to tell you something about something I've noticed about writing the script recently. I feel like for like the whole like 80% of this course, I've been writing the top line first and then like drawing the letters, like drawing below it. And I didn't even try, like I knew that I wanted to draw the vertical lines first, but I like couldn't get myself to do it. But something like just flipped over the last 2 weeks. And now I feel like I'm writing, like I'm writing in English, like I'm writing the script out how it's supposed to be written. It was very weird.
Isn't it cool though?
Yeah, it was really cool.
Well, you only learned how to read. I mean, you learned how to read. You were able to do that in a couple of months. It took you years last time. You just learned how to read again, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
I like learning other scripts for that reason. Yeah, and the funny thing is, I remember when I first started, I would always draw that top line first. And then my teachers were always like, well, no, my Devanagari came because I taught myself before I had a proper Sanskrit class, which led to a few bad habits. But I remember trying to draw that top line first. And for so long, it's like, trying to write in Spanish and remember to put the upside down question mark first is always really hard.
Yeah,
So,
right.
yeah. So now as I write the top line last, and that you just kind of draw them. And you're right. You don't have anything to hang them on. They just kind of hang out in space. And then when you connect the line, you put them in there, suddenly they pop off the page. And you're like, oh, now I'm done writing it. But at first you're like, why? I'm just writing these symbols out of nowhere.
Yeah, and it's like my script has a handwriting now because I'm not just like drawing it. So I feel like I have my own script handwriting. And so I feel like it'll be easier for me to read like other versions of the script because now I kind of see it as an actual language and not just these like symbols that have to be perfect.
It's just, like that's what we were talking about earlier in the class. You go from drawing the symbols to writing the symbols.
Yeah.
And
I just saw it happen.
I'm really happy for you. That's wonderful. Thank you for sharing that with me. All right, everybody, where are you all? Come on back. Okay. All right. So for the rest of the class, we're going to get to these like about six examples, and then we're going to try to read a couple of sentences from the reading to get y'all started. So far, let me see. Who am I going to start with today? I think I'm going to start with Devin. Devin, come on. Give me try that one. Give it a shot.
Okay. Ekasmi. I don't know how to say that.
Aha.
Ekasminde.
Deshe.
Ekasmi.
Ekasmin deshe. Or desha, sorry.
Okay. Ekasmin desha.
Yeah, perfect.
Eko
Mm-hmm.
nripaha.
Yes. And what you'll also find, just as you were describing about learning to write and it really clicking, at some point, those big, long words, but your brain just naturally breaks them apart as you're going. It's so weird. And then when it starts happening, it's very satisfying. So we have some Sunday here. This is ekasmin, which is declined like our neuter and masculine tasmin. So you have ekasmin, and that is in what tense? The locative, right?
Yep. Yes.
Right. Okay. Ekasmin deshe. Oh, Sunday will get you. Why it's actually deshe, but the in one country. There's a reason for this. I can't remember it exactly. Just construe the deshe and the ekasmin as both being in the locative. Just trust me on that one. So deshe means country. Now,
Okay.
first off, where's my verb?
Eko.
Could it be a trick question?
I don't see a verb.
Yeah, you don't see a verb. Go with that. There is no verb. So when you don't have a verb, you infer an us or a to be, or you could infer a boo for that matter, but us, astista hasanti. So no verb. So then I got to look for my subject. Subject is usually in the nominative. Do you see anything in the nominative?
The desha.
Well, desha is in the locative. Our nominative, singular, ramaha, ramo, ramaha. What looks like ramaha?
The nripaha.
Yeah, nripa, which means what?
King.
King. All right. Now, eko is ekaha, and it agrees with nripaha.
Okay.
This is one of those adjective pronouns, and it means one.
Yep.
So they're in the same tense. So one king. Okay.
Yep.
One king. And then ekasmin, that's eka again, right? Means one. And then the smin is locative. And assume that this is locative too. Desha, in a single country or in a one country. See, this is country. Just assume that's deshe. Just play with it as locative. Ekasmin deshe. In one country, there is one king. But what I want you to see here is that this is eko, meaning one, agreeing with nripaha. Here's eka in the locative, agreeing with deshe. That should be a locative there. I don't know why it's not. Ekasmin deshe, so that's eka according to the locative singular. So locative singular, nominative singular, nominative singular. The thing I want you to see is by this taking gender and number, it shows it's a modifier of that noun. So read it again and give me that translation.
Ekasmin deshe.
Yeah.
Eko nripaha.
Mhm.
There is one king in this one country.
Yeah, that's a really good, this one country, or you could say, how does Goldman say? He says, in one country, there is only a single king, or a single king lives in, you can even lives in that one country. But yeah, so one country, one king. I almost feel like you could say that. One country, comma, one king. That actually has a nice ring to it.
Yeah.
Okay, Tessa. Fine work there, Devin.
Okay. Where are we? Two.
Yeah.
Brahmanasya
Mm-hmm.
Ve
Sarve.
Sare Putra
Yep.
Ha Ha Taha
Yeah.
Hataha.
Hataha. All right. Can you find me a verb?
Hataha. I don't see one, so
Yeah, there's an implied us.
okay.
And hataha, what is the number of that? 1, 2,
Well,
3, 4, or 5?
one based on the
Yeah, one, plural or singular.
singular. No, that's a long A. So plural.
Right. And we also have this word. And what's the number on that one?
Putra, long A.
Putra, son.
Son. Yeah, why don't I don't know. First, no.
Yes, it is first, and it's first plural. The visarga has dropped because there's an H there. So putra hataha, sons who are slain. So here you are adding the is, but putra and hata are in agreement with all the other words modifying those nominatives. So your little sentence to start off would be, sons are killed. Okay? Now, what's this? What's this sarve?
And so that's not a verb though. Killed is not in that form.
It's what's called a butte credanta, which is a past passive particle. We'll get to that in like chapter 9.
Okay, sorry. What was your question?
What's sarve?
Sarve. Is that all? No.
Yes, it is. And remember how I was telling you there are these words that are declined like pronouns, but they are adjectives.
Right.
So sarve, what is that going to agree with?
The subject.
Yeah, it's in the nominative case. What else is in the nominative case?
The sons.
Yes. Putra is in the nominative plural. What is hata? Hataha.
That is the adjective that that's also in the nominative.
Nominative plural. Right. That's what I wanted you to get to. Sarve is in the nominative plural. So it's declined masculinely, like the masculine pronoun, saha tau te. So sarve, this will confuse you, is not locative. It's nominative plural, declined like a pronoun, but it's an adjective. All the sons are killed. We have one word left. What's that one last word doing?
There's an SYA.
Mm-hmm. It sure is.
That's genitive.
Yes.
Of the Brahmins.
Genitive singular. Yeah, put it all together. You got it. You got every piece right now.
All the sons of the Brahmins are killed.
Yeah, or all the Brahmins' son. It's a singular Brahmin. So all the sons of the Brahmin are killed. Yeah, you got it. Perfect. So that's what's called a past passive participle, or a butte cordanta, from the root hun, once again, to kill. Brahmin, to go over our genitive, is singular genitive. Sarve is not locative. It is masculine plural. So this is one of those adjective pronouns. All of what? What does it agree with? Putraha, plural, nominative, sons. All the sons of the Brahmin, hataha, are killed. Here, that hataha agrees with the putraha and the sarve. So they're all construed together. This is a very common construction that we're going to learn later, but you're seeing it for the first time here. Now, you don't see an explicit discrete verb, but you have here a verbal noun, which becomes this past passive participle. It's like you're saying, you're providing an us form, is. So they are killed. Sons killed. All the sons are killed. All the sons of the Brahmin are killed. All right, I'm going to go Atlas.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out how I can get my screen bigger because it's like hidden right now. There we go. All right. So pardon me, we're on number 3 here.
We're on 3. Purve, or purva.
Yeah, purva sme means some was sorry.
Yeah, sorry.
Says
So purvas mean
novel.
some vatsare.
Purvas mean some vatsare.
Yeah.
Vira,
Vira, yeah.
Vanam,
Hmm?
Gachanti.
Damn it, another one of these. And then
Sma.
right. Where's my verb?
That's sma, right?
That's yeah. Well, that's a particle, but what's the pure verb?
Okay. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Gachanti right there in front of my
Exactly.
face.
Now, what happens when you add the sma to a present indicative? Do you remember this rule?
It's some sort of
On the
like
tip of your
particle,
tongue.
right?
Pardon?
Like a particle or an article, one of those two things.
It's a particle, but what does it do?
I'm trying to remember that.
I know. We went over this. It makes it past. It puts it into a very simple past tense.
Okay.
You can have an indicative noun, and you put sma behind it, and even though it's a present indicative sound, it becomes a past indicative.
Okay.
So gachanti, is that plural, singular, dual?
Plural, bahu.
There you go. Plural bahu. So gachanti sma. They were. All right. Now we're good. They were. So do you see a nominative?
Well, what does Vira mean?
Viraha means hero.
Okay. So is this an instance of so is it like plural heroes or
Yes, it's heroes. First, second, third, fourth.
is this neuter or masculine?
This is masculine.
Okay. All right, so Vira heroes is the nominative plural. Then Gachanti Sma, like the simple past of gum to go.
Yes.
Vanam being the accusative there. So like into the forest, you did this one on purpose. And then
I didn't, but I'm pleased it worked out.
And then, so let's see
Okay.
here. Oh,
We're
here's
not
funny
going to
thing.
worry about this right now. Let's just get it perfectly clear down for everybody.
Oh, so we're not going to worry about the first old
Not
thing.
just yet. Gachanti from gum is the plural, and that's the plural form of the he, she, it sort of class of noun. So they go. We add the sma, so a little sma after your present verb makes it past. If only it was that way all the time. It's always pleasant when this happens. So they went. Who are they? They are viraha. This is masculine, plural, number one, nominative. The heroes go. The heroes go. Where do they go? They go to the accusative, not the locative. They go to the accusative because verbs of motion take the accusative. The heroes go to the forest. Now, what are we going to do?
Okay. So then purvas means smare.
Samvatsare. And I will tell you that samvatsara means a year.
A year.
Yeah.
Samvatsare, which is going to be locative. Is that like going to be like within the span of a year?
Well, you got to look at the word that comes before it. Purvasmin. Remember,
I guess I was trying to go for like the grammar of it, but I'll go ahead and look at purvasmi. So I am, is that in
Okay.
there?
Yeah, I know you want that would be purva asmi and then something else. But this word is purvasmin, and this is another one of those pronouns that, or this is another one of those adjectives. And it's declined so that it is like tasmin, which is the locative. So it's modifying this locative of a year. And purva means before. So in this sense,
Okay.
purva, you have purva samvatsara, purvasmin samvatsare, both in the locative. And this is a locative that tells duration.
So before a period of a year.
The heroes.
What?
You finish the sentence. You started it, yeah.
Well, I'm asking if that phrase is correct.
Yeah,
before
that
a
phrase
period
is
of a
correct.
year.
The phrase is correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the heroes went into the forest.
Yeah.
But why would it be before the period of a year?
Yeah, because you're getting kind of confused in the before the period because that's of the way I explained it. You can just translate it in the time of, so in the sense of last year, the heroes went to the forest.
So then what's wrong with saying within the span of a year?
That's fine, but it really is just saying that purvas means like purva really kind of means like previous. So in a previous year or last year, in the previous year, the heroes went to the forest.
Okay. So it wasn't even for the duration of a year.
I must have confused you on that one. But yes, the thing is, this is an adjective that is defining year. The important thing is to see that these are both in locative and that this locative is modifying that locative. So in the past year, the heroes went to the forest. Now, this is kind of a tricky one. I feel like some people should have some questions. Everybody's got it? Well, all right then. Guess we explained that clearer than I thought. Okay, we have 3 more sentences to go. Saskia. I haven't heard from you yet.
Sorry, I was blowing my nose. Okay.
All good. All right, we're at Sarve Sham.
Okay. Sarvesham
Nice.
per. Oh my god. Wait, Parushanam
Yes. Yes. Perfect.
Rama
Uh-huh.
Uttama.
Perfect. Yeah, your pronunciation is dead on. Do you see a verb?
No.
No, there is not one. So here we're going to provide an is. So the first thing I want you to find is the nominative singular.
Okay. Is that Rama?
Yes, it's always a good guess in this class to guess Rama. So Ramaha, because of Sunday, so there's a visarga there. Ramaha, and where's the other nominative singular?
Is it? I want to say Uttamaha.
Yes, it is. And that means supreme, ultimate, the very best. So in fact, here, your little sentence that we're going to get the rest of it is, Rama is the best. Rama is the best. That's all you need. Now, Rama is the best. Rama in the forest is the best. Now, you have Sarvesham and Purushanam. I'll tell you right away, they are in the same number. So are they singular or plural? And what number are they? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 7?
They are plural.
Yes, 100% they're plural.
They are I'm trying to remember.
Ramanam.
Right.
Yeah. You got it.
This is like it's like the hardest part for me.
Yeah, I know. Rama, Ramo, Ramaha. Ramam, Ramo, Raman. Ramena, Ramabhyam, Ramai. Ramaya, Ramabhyam, Ramebhya. Ramat, Ramebhyam, Ramebhya. And then Ramasya, Ramayoho, Ramanam.
Then it would be 1. No. It would. Oh my god.
Look at my hands. Look at my hands.
You're saying 6.
Yes, that's your genitive plural, Ramanam.
Oh right, we're talking about that word Ramana. Okay, but
Yeah. It's Purushanam.
But we're not quite haven't learned it yet.
You've got it. You just didn't call it up that fast. That's okay. Purusha means person. Okay? Person or people or men. Now, Sarvesham, does that have the same ending?
Yeah.
It does. So Sarvesham is genitive plural as well. All men of. Remember that the genitive is of. So Rama, best of all men.
Rama is the best of all men.
That is exactly correct. Now read the Sanskrit again and then translate it with feeling.
Okay. Sarvasam Purushanam Rama Uttamaha.
Yes.
Is the best of all men.
Yeah. And then if you're reading with feeling, you'd say like Sarvesham Purushanam Rama Uttamaha. I get a lot of
read with more emotion.
Sarveshanam Purushanam Rama Uttamaha. You get saucy with it. It helps. Okay. Jared. You still there, Jared?
I'm here.
Okay. Oh, I never know. You might have to go fight a fire. All right. Bubba, this is for you.
Okay. Anyat
Yes.
Pushtakam. Tava. Nahum. Nahum.
Nahum or nahum.
Nahum.
Mm-hmm.
Pashyami.
Perfect. Where's my verb?
Is it Pashyami?
100% is. Is that I? Is it those? Is it you?
Pash. Me. So I'm going to say I.
Yes, like vadami. Perfect.
Uh-huh.
Singular, I form, push, to see. All right. Now, do you see a nominative? And remember, there's Sunday here. This is na and ahum. What were you chanting just recently?
Is it let's see, Tuam. So Tava.
No, leave that alone right now.
Okay.
What's this one?
Oh, Nahum.
Mm-hmm. 2 words, na and ahum.
Oh, that's where the Sunday comes in. I see.
Yes, you got it.
Na and ahum. Okay.
Right. So what is ahum? First, second, third, fourth?
I think it's first.
It is 100%. So our little sentence to start with is, I see not. I don't see. Now, let's start playing around over here. Do you see an accusative?
Let's see, the only one that's leaping off the page is Pushtakam, and I know that's a book.
Yeah, brilliant. Is that masculine, nominative, or feminine? If you don't know, that's fine. I'll just tell you.
Masculine.
No.
I had 1 in 3 chance.
Yeah, well, yeah. That's neuter. And that matters here. So it's neuter, which means it's in either the 1 or the 2, singular. But here it's in the 2. So that's your direct object. I don't see book. Now, what do I do with anyat and tava? I'll tell you right off the bat that this anyat, if it was a pronoun, it would be tut. And it's neuter, just like pustakam. And anya means other.
Okay.
So I don't see
the other's book.
The other book. Then
other book.
We finally add this tava. What's tava? That's another personal pronoun.
Tava.
You got this.
Like you?
Yes, 100%.
Okay.
In the genitive. All right, can you put it all together?
I
yes.
I do, let's see. I don't see the other book.
All right, what about this? Your.
Tava. I don't see your other book.
Yeah, or you could, if you wanted to be like kind of to get it in your head, I don't see that other book of yours. Okay. See how that works? So there's a lot going on there, but what I want you to be clear on is that anyat is declined as tut, like tut is in the demonstrative pronouns. So that other book, both in the accusative. So you would start nominative, I, pashami, verb, do not see, na, don't see. And I'd say, fuck off with that tava. I'd say, anyat pustakam, that other book in the accusative. And then you go, what about that other book? It's that book of yours. Killing it. All right. Who's brave and powerful? Sarah is. Sarah is.
Boy.
Okay. Closing it out.
Okay. Nripaha sarvam. Brahmane bio
Mm-hmm.
dadati sma
Perfect.
tena tasyanyaki mapi.
Yeah, that one's a rough one. So there's some Sunday. Tasya anya kim upi. You'd say it tasyanya kim upi.
Tasyanyaki mapi.
Yeah.
Na bhavati.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Part 1.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Start with your verb.
Dadati.
Right. Do you remember the root for that?
No. Dat.
You're close. It's da. Da. So dadati, he, she, it gives. What's this thing here?
That puts it into the past.
Perfect. Now, do you see a nominative?
Nripaha.
Excellent. Which means what?
King.
So my little sentence is the king gave. The king gave. But what did he give? I would be looking for an accusative. Are you looking for an accusative?
Nah.
No.
Braha.
No. No.
Oh, Sarvam?
Sarvam, like Ramam. So that's accusative. Now, what do we know about really long words like this with abia type endings or abiam or whatnot? They tend to be dual or plural, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So this one is going to be dual or plural. And what number is it going to be?
It is going to be wait, accusative? Is that what
Sarvam is the accusative, but what's Brahmanebhyoho?
Brahmanebhyoho.
Brahmanebhyo. Brahmanebhyaha is what it would be without Sandhi.
Genitive.
It's dative. It's where the dative and the accusative. It would be Brahmananam, if it was in the genitive. So to the plural Brahmins. All right, put that one, read it again, put it all together.
The king gave everything?
Yes.
To the Brahmins.
Perfect. This happens a lot. You'd think Brahmins would have more money. All right, next part. So this is going to be a part of the same idea. And this one's kind of tricky, so we'll work on it together. So let's get started. Where's my verb?
Bhavati.
Bhavati. And what's that?
There is not.
Yeah, it is not. So it's something like there. So you're starting with there is not. Okay. Now, this is where the syntax gets tricky. What is this tena? What does it look like to you?
Looks like te. Looks like what we were just chanting.
Does it look like ramena?
Oh. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's what?
2, 3.
Yeah, how many fingers am I holding up? Yes. All right. Now, when you have an accusative or when you have an instrumental at the front, it kind of functions like therefore or because of that. So start thinking about that when you see this adverb right off the bat. Now, I'm just going to reveal this because the Sandhi is tricky. So you have tasya, and then you have anyat. Tasya. Oh, it's so hard. There's still error in this. I went and retyped this 3 times right before class. There it is. All right, so it's tasya, anyat, kim, upi. I'll just give you the notes, and we're going to put it together. So we're going to take that tena and just say therefore.
Okay.
And then we have tasya, which tasya is that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. Tasya.
Yeah.
Tasya. Ramasya.
For
Ramasya. 4 would be
6.
yes, it's 6, exactly. Therefore, of him. This is a little wacky, but get with me on it. Therefore, of him, then anyat. Anya means other. And it's being used here as anyat, which would be like tut. So that would be the accusative singular neuter. And then kim is like a question. However, kim can be construed as a question in a really funky way. So I'm going to explain this, and then I want you to read it and translate it all the way through yourself. All right, are you ready? So pay close attention. The king gave everything to the Brahmins. Therefore, Tenya, tasya, of him, anyat, nothing exists. Kimapi means like, it's a way of stating negation. It means so many different nebulous things, but when you have kimapi there, you know it just means that there's something real. Things are getting vague. So here, what you wanted to translate this is due to that, namely what came before, there is nothing else of his. And then the kimapi is just making it completely wacky. And the kimapi you just have to feel with because it does so many wacky things. And we're going to get to kim in the next chapter. All right. So therefore, he has nothing else. So kimapi, it's almost like the anyat kimapi go together to say like nothing else.
Okay.
Goldman's doing this as the last sentence just to screw with you a little bit. All right. Let me hear you give it a shot.
Okay. Nripaha sarvam brahmane byo
Mhm.
dadati sma.
Mhm.
The king gave everything to the Brahmins.
Perfect.
Tena, therefore, tasya nya naki kim p. That was rough.
I know it's a hard one.
Na bhavati. So, therefore, there is not other of him, anything.
Yeah, that actually works. There is nothing other of him. All right. That is what we have done for class. We are ready to go. We are going to start next time reading chapter 5. I'm going to read the first one to you, the first sentence to you to get you started, and then we'll be done here. Dasaratas tasya, or so, Dasaratas tasya kupitasya brahmanasya vachanam shrinoti. First thing I do, find my verb, shrinoti, he hears. Who's he? Dasharata. That is in the nominative. Dasharata hears. What does he hear? He hears vachanam, which is in the accusative, and it means speech. The king hears shrinoti, the vachanam, the speech, brahmanasya, genitive, of the Brahmin. And then kupitasya, angry, also in the genitive. So you're going to put the genitive together. The king hears the angry speech, or no, the king hears the speech of the Brahmin who is angry. Don't mess this up and say the king hears the angry speech, because it's not the angry speech. It's speech of the Brahmin who is angry. Again, subject at the beginning, verb right at the end, object in the center. First do your verb, then do your nominatives, then do your accusatives, then start filling everything else in. Kupitasya and brahmanasya, refer specifically to the vachana, but you also have a tasya there. That's your demonstrative pronoun. So Dasharatha heard Shrinoti vachanam, the speech. In fact, that the speech of that tasya, kupitasya, angry Brahmin. All right. You've started. You're ready to go. We're going to read the shit out of this on Tuesday. You all did great once again today. I can't praise you enough. Great class. Get to it. If anybody needs to talk to me, I do actually think I have time.
I have one quick question.
Yeah.
I don't know that I can even retain it if you go over it now, but that last part, because as I worked on this, I did write the enraged or angry speech of the Brahmin versus the speech of the angry Brahmin.
Yep.
So could you just maybe explain how?
Right. Okay. Everything goes together. If it
Yeah.
was the angry speech, it would be kupitam vachanam. But it's kupitasya. So it's
Okay.
genitive and it agrees with the other genitives, not with the accusative. So Dasharatha, that's your nominative. Shrinoti, verb. Accusative, vachanam is your direct object. The description of the vachanam of it is in genitive, genitive, genitive. Put all three genitives together. That Brahmin who was angry, or that angry Brahmin. Yeah, you want to construe kupitasya with vachanam because that makes more sense in English. But the precision of Sanskrit shows that that asya goes with the other asya, not the achanam.
Okay, thank you so much.
All right, let me stop recording.